what we're working on, like production, really. Help, you know what I'm saying? That's from the time our last album, that's what we've been doing on this time period, working on our beats, production, working on our
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wiki-Wednesday. This is a segment where I have a guest every week, and we just travel down a Wikipedia rabbit hole together. If you want to check out past episodes, last week I had Alan the Yellow-Eyed with me. The week before was Mimi as a Nerd. You can find all those on my YouTube channel. Hello, Bullet. Hello, Beaver. Was it this one? Oh, which button did I make? This one? Get the hell out of here, Beaver. There it is. Hi, Beaver. How are you? Hi, Gavos. Mr. Meld, hello. Lady Meld, hello, everybody. Welcome in. So tonight we're going to be hanging out with TheRustyPandaa. Has agreed to sit in the hot seat as we go through a Wikipedia rabbit hole. And we set up something new for this week. I got to learn something new from this scenario. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to my guest for this evening, TheRustyPandaa. Wow! Look at that! Look at that! I think that looks pretty darn good.
I agree. It looks great.
It's like we're in the same room together. Hi, Panda.
Oh, I have to look this way.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? I'm not looking at an umbrella light right now and pretending it's you. No. It is actually you. Let's see if I can. Whoops, I didn't mean to hide you. I want to move you down just a little bit because that's how much of a stickler I am. So I can't move it while it's grouped? Okay, let's ungroup it. And then we'll slide you down just a little bit to
Hi, everyone.
clean up that space.
Hi, Gordo, Lady Melt, Mr. Melt, Galvos, Gordo,
Hello.
Beaver, Captain E-Rock.
Hello.
Bullet.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Hello, Galvos. Almost the green, but you gotta earn it. Hello. How is everybody tonight? What is this wizardry, right? This is the future. This is how movies are going to be made in Hollywood moving forward. They're all just going to zoom it and be keyed into the movies. This is how they made Avengers Endgame. A lot of people don't know that. But we're going to get started tonight. I had Panda pick a subject, something that she's passionate about that maybe her community and even myself may not know about. So she chose the topic of sushi. So we'll be starting with sushi this evening. Ooh, look at that. Boop! So opening thoughts on Sushi, Panda. When did you first fall in love with sushi? What's your earliest memory?
Gosh, my dad and I would actually go to a place, Kyoto, and I'm from New Jersey, and so we would go to this place called Kyoto, and it was like a cheaper place where you can get like a bento box and you can get some sushi with it. And my dad, he had kidney failure, and then he got a kidney, so he couldn't eat raw fish.
Okay.
So he would get like shrimp tempura rolls, like already cooked, and I would be the one like slurping salmon with no issues whatsoever. And that would be our dates, our daddy-daughter dates. So,
oh.
Yeah.
Can you name everything that's on this plate in this picture? Do you know what's going on here?
Okay, so probably the top left is probably a yellowtail roll.
Okay.
And then looking at it was probably like a California roll or avocado. Let me pull up the picture on my end. Yeah, probably an avocado roll. And then we've got more yellowtail, white tuna, shrimp, octopus over on the right.
Ooh, yeah, I see that.
Masago, I think is the word. Is that yellowy orange stuff?
Is that tofu, or what would that be? Do you
it's
know?
egg something. Masago is like a tamago. Thank you, hon.
Tamago.
And then let's see. There's salmon over to the left, and then some conglomerates and cucumber down in the bottom middle. And that's probably all I can name.
Are you a big fan of roe?
I can eat roe. Yeah. I don't mind it at all.
I can't get my mind past it. That's one where I'm like, I'll eat it, but it takes me a mental preparation to eat that. Like, okay, I know what it is, just forget it. Just do it. We got this. But I love seafood in general. Like, I love it. I love sushi. I wish I knew more about it. I go out and get sushi, but I don't really explore much past like rolls or their specialty rolls, like a dynamite crab roll and things like that.
Yeah, I can eat I love the specialty rolls, but the problem is that I don't like spicy things. Now I'll eat wasabi, but I will not eat like spicy tuna or anything that involves the word like fire. So they will go ahead and put usually that sort of stuff in their rolls, and then I'm like, well, let's try something else.
Yeah. I love the spicy stuff. Give me the dynamite sauce. Give me something kicking up a notch. Do you mix your wasabi in your soy sauce? Like, do you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasabi in the soy sauce, and if there's not enough soy sauce, just put the wasabi right on the roll.
Do you have a go-to place near you that you go to?
We had a place, and it's actually where Galvos and I met, which was called Izakaya Ren. So sushi also has a place in my heart because I met my husband at a sushi bar.
Whoa! What? How long ago? How long ago was that?
This was 6 years ago,
Okay.
almost to the date.
Wait! Take me back to that night.
Our dating anniversary is actually yesterday. But I had come in the first day, which was January 16th, with another guy. I was going on dates for the first time in a long time.
Okay.
And he showed me this restaurant, which was right around the corner from me. And all of a sudden I hear this really loud ding. And I turn my head, and there's this guy who's ringing this bell. And I was like, wow, that guy is in this really cool jacket. He must be a musician. By the way, Galvos is not a musician, but he looked like one because he had long black hair that was like down to his butt. and his hat on and his jacket.
Don't mind me, I'm just taking notes. Look like musician. Does not need to learn instrument. Sell piano. Didn't need it.
And so I came back by myself because I wanted to be a strong, independent woman. And I sat up at the bar, and apparently I sat in his spot. He had a normal spot that he sat at. And
Are you
so
dating
just
Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory?
It was like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It was like he was trying to find his spot in the sushi restaurant, and ended up sitting next to me. We talked through the waitress, and we talked through the sushi makers, the chefs, and then we left. And then I was like, 2 days later, this is the best part of the story. I'm sorry if it's long-winded.
No, I love it.
Okay, 2 days later, I come back and I'm like, I'm gonna go see my new friends, which is the waitress and the sushi chef, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit at the bar and I turn to one of the chefs and I go, where is, and I pronounce his name wrong. And
You didn't pronounce Galvos right? Oh.
No, I didn't. And he goes, well, he wasn't here drinking last night, so he'll probably be here tonight. And I was like, all right, that's the guy I'm dealing with. That's all right, let's do this. And so he ended up coming in, and he sat down next to me and we started talking, and I mentioned something that intrigued him, and we talked for a while, and then he went out. At the time he smoked, so he went out to smoke a cigarette. I left, and he asked if I had a phone. Not a phone number, a phone.
Okay.
And
smooth.
And yeah, real smooth.
Yeah. You got a call brick in your pocket?
I was like, yeah, I do. And he asked me if I wanted to go to a diner afterwards, and I said I can't. There's a guy waiting for me at my apartment who's going to set up my furniture. This is a true story. I said, but I can get rid of him. So meet me at my apartment in 2 hours. And so the guy set up my furniture. I faked a stomach ache. I made him leave, and then Galvos came over 2 hours later.
I would just applaud the fact that Galvo said, yeah, and then he didn't have to say, oh, yeah, don't worry, I'll help you set up your furniture. The whole plan was, no. Make the other guy help you set up the furniture, and then I'll show up afterwards.
It was perfect.
Chivalry.
Yeah.
Chivalry.
Exactly, Leech.
Hello, Leech. Good evening. Oh, that's perfect.
So, yep, and we always went to the sushi place. We lived in St. Louis, so we always went to the sushi place.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that we're over here, we sort of have a sushi place, but
Okay.
Not really. It was better over in St. Louis.
Are you from St. Louis originally?
I am from New Jersey.
That's right, I knew that.
New Jersey native for 19 years. And yeah, my brother and my mom still live in Jersey, so.
How often do you get back?
I try to go back at least 3 times a year. I have a nephew now, so I try to make sure I visit him as well.
Okay.
Sir Damien. And it's a definite culture shock to be living in Missouri versus New Jersey. I moved here in 2011, and it was the scariest thing ever. Being landlocked. It was terrifying.
Oh yeah. I'm landlocked. Yep. I know how that feels.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm East Coast, and then I lived on West Coast, and now I live in Midwest.
Yep.
And landlocked is weirder than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you were able to find a sushi place in Missouri that you liked, because I kind of avoid the seafood where I am. It seems to be the. But I'm spoiled. I mean, I grew up by the Chesapeake Bay, so I was super spoiled growing up.
Exactly. Same growing up and having fresh lobster and crab legs.
Yeah.
Back when Red Lobster used to give you all the crab legs that you can eat.
Yeah.
And I was like 7 years old, and I was like, this is for me. This is my life now.
Sai, thank you for that sub. Hello, how are you? Good evening. Hello. So what took you from New Jersey to St. Louis?
So fun fact, at the time, let's try to abbreviate this. I have a rare genetic
we
disorder.
have plenty of time. You don't have to abbreviate anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a rare genetic disorder called Fabry disease.
Okay.
And so I was doing a play of Julius Caesar at the time, and my parents had gone down to a Fabry focus group,
How do
so
you
to
spell
speak.
that?
Fabry.
Fabry. Okay.
And so they went to this group, and Fabry Support and Information Group was in charge of it. And so they, their son was talking, and my mom's like, oh, I'll go ahead and get your information and I'll give it to my daughter. And so we started talking through Facebook. Next thing you know, we're dating. And again, they're from Missouri. So I go out for spring break. He comes out for the summer, back and forth. I go through college. And then finally I said, screw it, I'm going to Missouri. And so after 2 years of long distance dating, I ended up in Missouri. And so I still work with his father for Fabry Support Information Group. I still write for their newsletter.
Okay.
But my ex and I are still really, really close friends because I see him for this next thing that I want you to look up.
Okay.
Which is called Dagger here. DAG Dag ORHIR. So Dag or here.
This?
Oh yes.
A Dago here LARP foam fighter? What is going on?
So this is what I do. Yep. That's actually, I believe, at our park. That might be our park.
This is giving me like Gladiator on top of the where they're like trying to bop each other off. It's giving me that feel right there.
Yeah. They're foam fight. They're PVC or the
pool noodle stuff.
Not pool noodle. We're talking much harder than that. When you get hit, you get hit. If you get hit in the arm, you lose the arm. If you get hit in the back, it's death. There are camping events all across the U.S. The biggest one is called Ragnarok, which has over 2,000 people in Pennsylvania that do a 1-week camping. I have a huge group of friends in Mercridia. That's the group that I'm in. And I have a huge group of friends that are in Kansas City that are in Mercridia. Hey, Becca!
New Jersey in the house. I know I'm real delayed, but I had to download the app just to write this comment.
That is my best friend in the whole wide world since I've known since I was 10. That's Becca.
Oh, hello, Becca. How are you? Good evening. We're learning about how much of a badass Panda is. And
well, so I run it. I basically help run the entire sport and come up with different battles for them to do. And I basically stand there. It's called a herald. And I stand there and I tell them what battles to do and if they're out or if they get to resurrect. And the main thing I do at these events that last super long is I'm troll, which is where you enter, that you pay the troll, right? And so they call me the troll queen. And I've been troll queen for almost 10 years now.
Yes.
And everybody who walks through the gates of these camping events, I know them because I'm the first face they see and they have to pay me and they have to fill out their waiver.
Are you part of a mafia? Are you a mafia king? You come to me on the day of my daughter's LARPing
me.
and ask me a favor.
Yeah. And so I'm the treasurer for our area, and I don't fight, but I used to, and yeah.
Is this the thing that you and Galvos talked about over sushi on that first date?
No.
Okay.
But it did come up and like very closely after, and it was a turn on for him for sure. Like,
Okay.
We started a group in St. Louis shortly after. His best friend got into it, and then another best friend got into it, and then I ran a tiny group in St. Louis.
Whoa. So has Galvos done this before, or did you introduce him to this?
I introduced him to it. He's never done it before.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So do you have a troll queen name?
My name is Lady Nessa.
Okay.
I'm Lady because I've actually been knighted. I was knighted on a non-combatant route.
Okay.
And I had to do a bunch of trials. One of them was play chess with a different knight. I had never played chess before, and so I had to play and win chess against him in order to pass my knight's trial. Another one I had to play, what was it? Diablo, and there was another game I had to play. Hi, Mikey! That's my brother!
Oh, hello, Mikey. How are you? Welcome in. Hello.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna cry!
Oh!
That's so sweet!
Look at that support.
Yeah!
Hello.
Thank you. He did internet just for me.
Oh.
He doesn't internet often.
Hello. Welcome to the internet.
But yeah, so that's a big thing that we did. Now I can't fight anymore because I can't sweat. So because of fabry disease, one of the symptoms is that I literally can't sweat, and so I can't do the fighting anymore.
What happens when you sweat?
I don't. Like, it doesn't happen. Like, my body will get really red and overheated, and then I pass out.
Okay. Is this something that developed over time, or?
So it gets worse over time, but I've always had it because it's genetic. My dad had it, which is why he went into renal failure. And then eventually, unfortunately, passed due to cardiac issues.
Okay.
So they used to say that you would die by 40 with this disease, right? Because it was super rare and there was no treatment for it.
Yeah.
My dad was a part of the original TKT trials down at the NIH, the National Institute of Health in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
He was a part of the original trials that helped the drug that I use for my Fabry disease. So he basically gave his body to science in order to help with that.
Wow.
So, but yeah, so symptoms, I can't sweat, I can't feel temperature, so I don't know hot and cold. So like setting showers is like really difficult for me because I never know if the water is too hot or too cold.
Yeah.
It just kind of feels like water. Like, that's it. And then what else? With stomach problems, really bad. And then vertigo, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not trying to be negative about it, but those are the symptoms.
Okay.
And so he had it too, and so like watching him, I was always afraid of like what I was going to go through, like what was the path that I was going to take. And so preventative care is this drug, this enzyme replacement therapy. And once I was on that, then that was supposed to help with helping my kidneys for the future.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Sorry, we got distracted.
Do you mind if I ask how old he was? Like, because they said 40.
Right. He made it to 59.
Okay.
And he got his kidneys shut down at 39. So he got 19 bonus years.
Okay.
With a spare kidney.
Okay. Wow. So what did you guys like to do together? Do you have any other fond memories of Dad other than sushi nights?
He was a drummer.
Okay.
And so every Friday night, especially when I was young, we would go ahead and have Friday night parties. Yes, my brother's also a drummer and a musician. My brother and I were in a band. We played in Philadelphia at the Trocadero, and we played our own original music. I wrote the music. My brother helped write a little bit of the music. I sung, he sung. We had a bongoist. It was pretty sweet.
Yes. What was the name of your band?
I almost said Taking Back Sunday. I'm such a loser.
Vampire
Chance.
Weekend. You ever heard of them?
Yeah. It's called Last Chance for Everything.
Yes. And what was your genre?
Indie.
Okay.
Indie acoustic.
Okay.
But yeah, we did very well together. We made a lot of songs together, but we're a very musical family, and so my dad would pull out his drum set on Friday nights and he would play, and then my mom would have her tambourine and I'd be singing and dancing around, and my brother would be singing and helping play drums as well, and we'd be listening to Rush, Journey, Genesis, Kansas, all sorts of bands, but the main band was Rush. My dad loves Neil Peart, like absolute diehard fan.
On Rush band.
Yep.
There's a lot of Rush in here. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's some good memories.
Yeah.
Real life rock band. That was the dream.
That was the very first concert I ever went to was Rush, and I was 5 years old.
You been to a lot of concerts?
I've been to a handful. It's funny that I say Take It Back Sunday because I went with Becca.
Okay.
I've seen Stars, which I really like. They're a Canadian band, and I saw that with my brother down in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I've seen Journey. I've seen Fleetwood Mac. I've seen Chicago, Earth, Wind and Fire, Def Leppard, whole bunch of them. Everybody but Genesis. That was the one band that I really wanted to see and I didn't. But I've also seen more indie bands like Death Cab for Cutie, and I just saw John Prine before he passed, like right before he passed. John Prine. Yes, and my brother introduced me to them. Yes, Mikey.
It's a proud brother right there.
Yes.
Sidebar. I have a fun fact with Journey. I think it was like 2 years ago. I'm a bartender in Minneapolis, and there was a guy who came in and like during our happy hour time and got drinks or whatever, and then he came back in for dinner, and I was the closing bartender, and then he had dinner that night. And then for like the next week, I would see him every happy hour and every dinner. And I was like, I didn't know who he was. He just kept showing up. And then on the last night, like the owner of the restaurant was there, and he sees him. And then after he leaves, he walks up to me and he goes, "Do you have any idea who that was?" And I was like, "No, I think it's a new regular. He just like comes in. He's been here all week." And it was Steve Perry of Journey. Was sitting at my bar every night, and I had no idea. He was in town recording a solo album at the recording studios in downtown Minneapolis, and I guess he was just kept coming in because I didn't know who he was. I don't know, maybe because I was just treating him like a normal person because I had no idea. But people were like, yeah, like the morning people were like, yeah, he was coming in for like lunch too. So he was coming in, like he was basically doing all of his meals at our restaurant.
Wow.
But he definitely came in multiple times a day. And
wow.
Yeah, it was Steve Perry, and I had no idea.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you know Coheed and Cambria?
Like vaguely. Like yeah.
That's another band Becca went ahead and mentioned, Coheed and Cambria. They're a really, really interesting band.
Yeah.
The lead singer sings very high, and that's why it reminds me of Rush, because he sings so high. Geddy Lee does. But yeah, Coheed and Cambria was a big one that connects both Becca and Mikey.
Do you have like a favorite band that you saw live?
My favorite band that I saw live was Stars.
Okay.
That's hands down. But if I had like my ultimate like lineup, it would be the Shins and the Decemberists. And I don't know if you know either of those.
I
but
know probably more about the Decemberists than the Shin. I know of the Shins.
That would be my ultimate like lineup that I would be able to see, because I just absolutely love them. And the Shins, if you've ever seen the movie Garden State,
Yeah.
then you know then you know the Shins, because that's two of their songs are highlighted in that movie. Why are you laughing? I love Garden State.
My friend. So I worked on Scrubs.
Okay.
I worked on the final season of Scrubs. Specifically the first 6 episodes of that. So Zach Braff agreed to do the first 6 episodes of the last season. So I was there working on it for most, I think like maybe 4 out of those 6 episodes. And we started to build up a rapport. And on his last day, we were like saying goodbye or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you know, nice to meet you, that kind of stuff. Like we should grab a drink sometime. And he was like, well, I can't. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, if you're busy, like I didn't mean like tomorrow, like, you know, just anytime. He's like, no, like I can't, like because of who I am. So he thought that if we went somewhere, he would get mobbed. But my friend and I have a running joke about Garden State, and like we just take a picture of it. And, like it just became a thing about Garden State and Zach Braff. So that was like a mental thing for me.
That's so cool that you worked on Scrubs.
Yeah, I worked. I worked one of the later seasons, and then most of it this first 6 episodes. I used to do props and wardrobe and script continuity and PA and like all kinds of stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah, I worked on just about every TV show between 2009 and 2013.
Did you do House? Because we're streamlining House right now.
I did work on House. Only 1 episode though.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what season or like what episode number. I just remember we were on location in a barn that was supposed to be a restaurant. So they're in some sort of outdoor barn. And that's actually a really cool story, because we were working crew and it was cold that night. Like it was a night shoot. And we're shooting this restaurant scene, and it's kind of a smaller area. So the crew didn't have enough room. So when they went to do tighter shots and stuff like that, they needed to remove the background actors from the restaurant. So they were putting them outside. And Hugh Laurie went up to production and went, no, don't put them outside. Let's put them in here. Let's make room for them. And, you know, as long as they're quiet, they can stay. Like, he was the one who kind of took control and was like, no, don't put the background actors outside in the cold.
In the cold, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, let's make sure that they're in here. And
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Hugh Laurie.
So that was a really cool experience. But yeah, I only worked on the 1 episode. But yeah, I worked.
They did Fabry disease in one of their episodes. I believe it was season 5, episode 2 or 3. But they did Fabry disease, and they did a decent job on it. But usually their representation is usually like something comes on fast, and then you don't know what it is, and then everything's crashing all at once, and you have to fix it.
Yeah.
And that's not how Fabry is. It's a lot slower, more degenerative disease. But it was neuropathy is the final symptom, and so basically you get burning in your hands and feet, along with like lightning pains in your extremities. And the guy was doing, I don't know if you've seen a lot of House, but the guy was doing a video game, and it was like VR when it first started to come out. And he was doing this video game, and all of a sudden he starts screaming from the burning in his hands and feet, and that's what starts the investigation on what's wrong with him.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen much of House. What are you streaming it on? What is it on right now?
We're on Plex. My friend is a server. It used to be on Netflix, but I don't know. So we're Plexing it up.
Okay, I'll have to look up Plex. But yeah, I have not seen that show.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of medical dramas. They used to do a lot of stuff on Grey's Anatomy too, and I never watched it.
Yeah, I watched Grey's Anatomy for probably about like 5 seasons, and then that was done. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. We don't. That's why we're rerunning House, is because it's something in the background that I've already seen.
Okay.
That it's kind of just like I'm not biting my fingernails over because I've seen it.
So what are you spending all that extra time with now?
Basically, we're video gaming.
Okay.
I mean, we've done tons of video games that suddenly. Yes, I agree. The House finale was awful. That's sly. But the video games right now are doing Eco. We just got Raft. So we're going to be doing that, which will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Iraq has expressed interest in doing Raft with us.
Okay.
And then what other video games? Let me just look over. Scribblenauts, Puzzle Quest, Cryofall. Just some video games that we've been addicted to. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't following Rusty Panda, if anybody from my community is here and they are not familiar, go give Rusty Panda a follow. She does variety streaming on here as well. So go check out her stuff.
Oh, that's right. Tower Unite is another one. Yeah.
Yes, Tower Unite. Yeah, we've been playing Tower Unite on Saturdays if anybody wants to join us. Last Saturday, Pan and I were mini golfing it up.
We mini golf so hard.
So we've gotten into the Tower Unites. Yeah, Tower Unite is fun. I like that one a lot.
I think Niels and Bullet is smiling because I'm pretty sure they're playing Tower Unite right now.
They just added, yup, sure am. They just added a new 9-hole mini golf course.
They are. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose. How are you? Maybe. Yeah, last time we played, you had this like crazy mansion that you could teleport to the areas where you sleep. Like I was showing Panda parts of her property she didn't know she had.
There was a whole house back there.
She's like, there's a guest house back here. Oh, look at this pool area. Like, look at all this. Like, oh, you're so classic rich person.
Oh, yes. Look at this over here.
Oh, I didn't know I had that. Thank you. That mountain is mine. I didn't even know that was on my property.
Sheila, look at this.
Sheila, we have a pool. I made up this imaginary wife, Sheila, that we kept yelling at when we found something new. Okie dokie, man.
Right.
Time to get your nephew. Nephew.
I love you. Night, Damien.
Thank you for hanging out, Mikey. Have a good rest of your night. Aw.
Yeah, he's a good older brother.
How many siblings do you have?
Just him.
Okay. You guys are close?
Yep, we're 6 years apart, and we were really close when we were younger, and then we weren't close for like 5 years, and then as soon as I turned like 12 and I was mature enough to like his 6, 7, 18, as soon as we hit about the same maturity, then we started to like each other again. Okay.
That's kind of like Caitlin, who's been showing up, Aloha Kate, in my chat, is my sister.
Okay.
And we are 7 years apart. So there was a big age gap. She's the little one. There's 4 of us, and Caitlin's the little one. So she spent a lot of time growing up like we had already moved out and stuff.
Yeah.
But now she's getting older and she's cool. Like, all right, we can hang out again. You're a cool kid. You can hang out with me.
Yeah, we're fine. It's cool.
Movies that shaped your childhood.
Okay, Garden State is one of them. It really is. I saw that one. I think it came out when I date myself. I think it came out when I was 12.
Okay.
And so I saw it in theaters. When did it come out? What year?
2004.
2004. So yeah, I was 13.
Okay.
And so I saw that Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
That was a huge one that shaped my childhood. Deja Vu with what the frick is his name? I gotta look it up. He's cute too.
Denzel Washington.
Thank you. Yeah. That movie for some reason really got to me. It was just such a cool like sci-fi type movie.
I don't know this one.
Yeah, it's a really wicked movie. Like it's about well, you can read about it. It's just a wicked movie. I need to watch it again. I have the DVD. The Truman Show.
Yeah,
That's another
okay.
one that really shaped me. And then the Celestine Prophecy and the Peaceful Warrior, and those are both books and movies that I really like shaped me and gave me like a better sense of understanding of my life.
Okay. Huh. Jeff Denzel Washington. I think I haven't seen him in a while. So I'm going to add that to my watch list.
Yes, it's so good.
TV shows or cartoons you watched growing up?
TV shows. I really liked Heroes when it came out.
I did too, season 1.
Yeah, season 1, and then it was like, oh, okay, this is where we're going from here. And then what other things did I watch? I watched some of the Grey's Anatomy because it was like things that we watched with my family, like when we sat down after dinner and watched something. But I mean, I grew up on Rugrats, all that, like all the Nick at Night stuff.
Okay.
And so, yeah, Rugrats was a big one for me. And Hey Arnold, and all the Nickelodeon ones.
Yeah, we were talking about Rugrats and Hey Arnold, I think this morning in my stream, about how it's such a great show where they did a great job of layering the humor, where there was humor for adults and humor for kids.
Yeah.
And now if you go back and watch those series, you can kind of pick up on those.
The different,
on the different levels of humor, and you're like, oh, this was actually really, really well written.
Rocko's Modern Life scared the shit out of me, Bullet. Out of that TV show made no sense to me most of the time, and just like the characters, the way they were drawn, were just really. It did not tickle my fancy. I didn't hate it. It just confused me, and I didn't understand it.
My sister hated it. So me and my brother, my older sister, once in between me and my brother, hated it. So we weren't allowed to watch it.
Angry Beavers was a good one. Doug was a good one.
Doug.
Yep. Doug was all about growing up. He knew it.
Yeah, I remember like idolizing Doug as a kid and waiting for the day that I was as old as he was in the series.
That's hilarious.
Like,
yeah. Clarissa Explains It All would be another one. That was a really good one. There's a really, really good one. Fraggle Rock, what is it called? Fraggle Rock was a good one.
Yes, it was.
That's my non-curse word.
Yeah.
Out of the box.
Oh
okay.
my God!
So,
out of the box. Out of the box.
And then.
Out of the box. Yeah. You laugh and play and sing together in the box, and now it's time to say goodbye.
So
Yep.
to you, my friends. Goodbye for now.
Yeah. Till we meet again. Yes, I used to watch this one with Caitlin. She's one who I would watch this one. This is the one that introduced, like, because that was kind of her generation. That was my childhood, but then Caitlin kind of sucked me back into those things. So I watched Out of the Box and Bear in the Big Blue House and all those things that were of the early 90s kids.
It's not the New Magicians, and good luck. Get some tissues. Okay, bye.
Oh. Bye, Badass Becca. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. My nickname at my last job was Doug Funny.
I could see that, Melt. That would make sense to me. I'm trying to think of the name of the TV show. It was a word. It was based on words, and Ghost Rider.
Oh.
It was Ghost Rider. WRITER.
Yeah.
And it was
This was a PBS series, wasn't it? No, that's not what I
It was no, it wasn't on PBS. It was on like the N or something.
Let's see. It says Fox Kids, PBS, BBC Two. There's a reboot coming to Apple TV Plus. 2019. It did happen. It was 2019 reboot. This is a couple years old.
Oh my god, I have to look that up.
It's a revival.
Yeah,
it's still going.
Ghost Rider was amazing to me. I absolutely love words and wordplay, obviously crosswords and anacrostics and a whole bunch of that. And this was started just when the internet was becoming big.
Okay.
And so basically Ghost Rider would like come in and go into the internet and get information for them, and they had to solve riddles or word riddles in order to succeed at beating the bad guy. And it was just really well done, but it was hard to find anywhere. Like you couldn't download it anywhere, so it's interesting to see that it's on Apple. The reboot is. I don't know about the old one. The old ones are really impossible to find.
Well, I remember knowing that series existed, but I never watched it. That one and Wishbone.
Wishbone was one, yeah.
I remember those being on, but I don't remember watching them.
Zoom. Zoom was a big one for me too. I watched the shit out of Zoom. It was a PBS series. It came on right after I put on to school. That's right, Mr. Mount. That's correct.
The ghost would speak to the kids by pulling letters and words out of books and projecting them onto a blank page.
Yep. And it would look like a murderer writing, because you have like the R from a magazine. But yeah, that's how it would speak to them.
That sounds like something I'd want to tune into now.
But Zoom was amazing because they taught you things like basically how to do direction. The one I specifically remember is how to give directions correctly. So basically they said how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And so they said, okay, take peanut butter and take the jelly and you put it on the bread, and then you put the two pieces together. And so the guy took a jar of jelly and then took the jar of peanut butter, put it on the bread, and then put the two together. And that was the direction. So you say, no, open the jar of peanut butter, take a knife. And so it taught you how to give proper directions and how directions could be misconstrued. And from that point, I was like, this show's fucking genius. Like, this is...
And I make the slamminest peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Now they're perfect. Actually, Galvos does. I make them too thin. Galvos, he knows how to make a mean PB&J.
Perfect ratio. Yep.
But Zoom was there, and then Cyberspace came on after Zoom. And that was Cyberspace, they're moving, they're beating hacker at his chase. That was stop laughing at me. Just because we know our jingles.
Cyberspace TV. So let's see. Why can't I find? Is it one word or is it?
I think it's one word.
Cyberspace. Oops. TV. And maybe they don't have it on Cyber Chase.
Oh, Cyber Chase. Yeah.
Chase. Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah,
okay.
it was a good one. They basically would go against a bad guy, and they had real world issues as well. Like, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Darkside. You are a Cyber Chase fan?
The audience needs to stick to the chat, please. Wait, what's going on? Oh, he said if Galvos is going to say anything, I guess he wants him to put it in chat. No sidebars. Got it. No, Galvos is laughing IRL. Get that out of here. You laugh in chat, Galvos.
Chat only.
You laugh in chat.
You're losing the green. You don't get the green.
Yeah, this is not how you earn the green back, Galvos. Hello, that one. How are you? Thank you for that raid. Welcome in. Hello.
Hello.
This one apparently is still going.
Oh, really?
according to Wikipedia.
It's a good show. It's a really good kid show. It's Crossword Guy.
Hey, it's the crossword guy. Hello, John Rando. How are you? Welcome in.
That's a good title for you, Crossword Guy.
The crossword guy.
You sound complex and dangerous.
Oh man, did you have any pets growing up?
Yes, I had a cat named Lucy. Well, first we had a cat named Lucky,
Okay.
and then Lucky was an indoor-outdoor cat, and then one day he didn't come home. And then roughly 2001, I got my cat Lucy, and Lucy was darling until she wasn't. She only liked my father and I. She hissed and screamed, and I was bitter against the world. I think it was because she was declawed, and so she was just bitter.
Okay.
But you would like pet her, and then if you like stuck your hand in front of her face, like she'd bite you. So I basically grew up with like trying to tame a cat, and my mom hated her. My dad loved her so much, even though like the bite marks and claw marks were on him, like causing him like external, like tons of bleeding, and his bleeding isn't clotting. And so yeah, I agree. Declawing any animal is abuse, but this was also back in 2000, and that's how we got her. We didn't declaw her. We got her declawed.
Yeah, that's Butch is declawed. I didn't declaw him. I rescued him, and he just happened to be declawed.
And then now we have 3 cats in this house.
Okay.
We have Crystal, who has been meowing around my waist this entire time and getting into things.
Okay.
She's my cat. Like, she's really shy. She only really likes me. She'll lay on me. Then there's Keiko, who was Braden's cat, who brought him into her into the mix. And Keiko loves Braden, understands Braden. If Braden's having a nightmare, like, she's there. She's a really, really understanding cat. And then there's Ruby. You laugh in chat.
You laugh in chat. I can hear you a bit.
Ruby is Crystal's blood sister. They're from the same litter.
Okay.
And she's very special in that she's everybody's friend. So whereas Crystal is really clingy to me and Keiko's really clingy to Galvos, Ruby is like everyone's best friend and gets into things and breaks things in the closet and it climbs on my body while I'm sleeping and just lays there.
Okay.
She's the special cat. So we have 3 very awesome but very interesting cats.
Did you name them, or did they?
I named Crystal and Ruby.
Okay.
No, Crystal was Crystal, and then because Crystal was Crystal, I named Ruby Ruby.
Okay.
And Ruby made me take her home because I was sitting with Crystal, the cat that I had gone in with, like wanting. And then while I was sitting there, Ruby comes up and sits on my lap. And I'm like, well, now I got to take this one too. So I got the bundle. And then when Galvos moved in, then we had the 3 of them.
Okay, so Keiko was Galvos' cat.
Correct.
From before.
Yep.
Okay. I know a Keiko in real life.
How's it spelled?
Keiko. She played, what's her name on Gilmore Girls? Rory's best friend. On that series.
I did not watch Gilmore Girls.
What was her character's name? But she's a puppeteer as well, and that's how I met her.
Oh,
but
that's really cool.
Keiko. She's named after the woman Hank Hill's father had an affair with. Wow.
That's Galvos.
Oh my god. I remember that. Oh my god. That's true. Oh my god. That's a funny reason to name a cat.
Yep.
Yeah, my cat came with the name Butch, and I was just like, I'm not gonna beat that.
Yep.
I'm not
That's
gonna
a good
beat that.
name.
Yeah. Hank's Japanese half-brother episode. Yep. Does that sound like the girl? Does that sound like the girl you know from Gilmore Girls? No, I don't think.
I don't think it's the same one.
I don't think it's the same one. But I'll ask her the next time we talk. Were you animated in the 90s?
Lemons!
Hello, Lemons. How are you? Good evening. Does anybody in chat have any questions for Panda? Feel free to throw them in, and we will cycle through those as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I can't believe. Oh my gosh, that's a really cute picture of that cat. I don't know what it came up.
I think it was under Feral Cat.
Oh, great.
That's the meaning of.
I really know how to pick them.
That's the meaning of Feral Cat. That's a cute kitty cat. Places that you've visited.
I have gone. So for my 30th coming up, we're going to Aruba.
Okay.
And I'll answer your question in 1 second, Bullet. So my 30th, I'm going to Aruba. And the last time I went to Aruba was when I was 10 years old. And we got back to Newark Airport 3 days before 9/11.
Whoa.
That's how close call it was. Yeah, Aruba is just this magical place that has the most perfect temperature. My father could withstand it because, again, we can't sweat. So my father was able to go outside and enjoy the weather. And it's all inclusive. So it's all you can eat, all you can drink for $112 a day. And yeah, and so basically we got the all-inclusive package. Becca's gonna go skydiving. So she's excited about that. And then my friend Derek is also going as well. And so we're celebrating my 30th birthday, all of us kind of turning 30 in May. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
So, but other places I've visited, I mean, I've been up and down the East Coast. My grandma lives in Maryland. My other grandma lives in Florida.
Okay.
We've been up to Vermont. Pretty sure I could put a place out of business with that all-you-can-drink price. Yeah. I'm really excited to be able to drink as much as I want when standing in a pool. The pool bar is like my favorite thing because my cousin was my maid of honor.
Okay.
She's like my sister. And she did my bachelorette party, and she took me down to Galveston, down in Texas.
Okay.
And there was a pool bar there, and so I was able to keep cool while I completely sucked down like tons of free drinks because everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, bachelorette party! Oh my gosh!" And so yeah, I got really crunk, and is crunk like really drunk? Is that what that means? Do you want to
I think so. Yes, I think crunk. I don't think anyone's used that term in a couple of years to mean it, but I do believe that was the meaning of the term.
Oh no!
Other than today, it
refers to be of the verb to crank up refers to being excited or high on drugs. Well, I wasn't drunk. It is today. High on life. There we go. I was high on life.
She meant this crunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
I was totally crunk.
Doesn't alcohol count as drugs? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
We'll work with that. We'll say I didn't make a mistake. But then my favorite video game of all time has to be Super Paper Mario on the Wii. That was I haven't finished the playthrough on that game on stream, but I played it on the Wii U recently, and by recently I mean like last year. But Super Paper Mario to me was one of the smartest Mario games that I've ever played.
Yeah.
The fact that you can literally go 3D and there is an entire other realm that you can work with.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. And the fact that you could play as multiple characters that have multiple abilities, and the different levels weren't too hard. Like some battles in Mario games can be a little difficult, and this one was really based for like 4-year-olds like me who don't do very well at boss battles. And so it made me still enjoy the game, and the storyline, the whole story, the background was really fascinating on why it was the way it was. So that's my favorite game of all time.
This is a really good game. Nintendo does a great job of pushing and innovating video games, and they're great for developing stuff for their own consoles. And they're like, look, everybody, this is how you do it. And then I feel like all other game developers are like, cool. All right, we're going to keep doing what we always do. Like, we're not going to join you. I'm going to go make this first-person shooter. And you're like,
right.
All right, like, sure. But yeah, Super Paper Mario is definitely one that showcased what you could do, even like with the Wii and everything.
Yeah,
very well.
Turned it sideways to press A and turn sideways to make and go into the other realm, and so you're actually using the console for like what it's used for.
Yes, it was super smart.
Yeah.
That is a fun one, and I think they could port. This would work as a Switch port. I think Nintendo,
if you're listening, this could work as a port. Just throwing that out there.
Just Nintendo, if you hear.
At least Nintendo's lurking.
So for you, what was your favorite drink like to make? What it was the most fun? Somebody asked for something and you're like, oh, good, I get to make that.
Oh, cool, like Jameson on the rocks. I'm with you. Mixing drinks is, I don't know, it's kind of fun because it's definitely a job where you kind of learn on the job.
Yeah.
Irish bomb combo. Oh God, now I have a bad history of Irish car bombs. Right, I was like 20 and I went to a party and I had to play catch up. And we had the brilliant idea that I would catch up doing Irish car bombs. That was not a good night. I haven't been able to touch them since.
That's me and rum chata.
Yeah, everyone has something.
Shots of rum chata, and I got so sick. I once did. Here's the dumb in me. Here's the dumb college student.
Mm-hmm.
I once did Rumpelmints, Goldschlager, and Fireball back to back to back because they were free.
Yeah.
And that's the one of like 3 times I've ever gotten sick from alcohol.
Yeah. My night, it was Irish car bombs and Goldschlager. I'd never had Goldschlager before, so I was going back and forth between those two. And like I'm an expensive drunk. Like I can drink a lot. And that was the night I learned how much.
How much? That was the limit.
It was a lot. Like we were playing beer pong for hours and Irish, like, oh my God, it was so much.
You'll need Jesus.
Treating your stomach that way? Yeah. I mean, when you're 20, you're just like, oh, okay, like let's go, let's party it up, so.
And to answer your question, Lemons, they did make a new Paper Mario, and in my opinion, it's absolute trash.
Oh, the sticker, is it the sticker? No, not Sticker Star.
No,
the origami one. Origami Kingdom. I haven't played it.
Absolute trash. I watched. Who did I watch? I watched one of the streamers play, and she was so frustrated with it, but she was so determined to beat it. Maika. And she was so determined to beat this game, but by the end of it, she was so frustrated that she was not having fun. And I was like, oh man, what am I in for? Yeah, there you go, Maika. And so I went ahead and I tried it, and I was stupid and spent $60 on it. And I was like, how bad could this be? And I'm playing this game and it's fine and it's whatever. And then you get to the battles and you have a very short timer to try to rotate these enemies to kill them in a certain order. And I am not good at timers telling me exactly how to do my battles.
I'm with you. Don't make me time. Don't put me on ice.
Yeah.
Don't time me, and don't make me escort somebody somewhere.
Okay.
Those 3 things were like, you're like, oh great, the escort died. Like I'm doing fine, but this stupid escort keeps getting killed. Like,
right.
Yeah, those are the 3 things I don't. Those are 3 video game mechanics I do not like. So I'm with you in that boat.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Mel. It was. I'll stream it one day and you could watch it, and then I'll stream it for like 30 minutes, and then I think that's all I could do.
Yeah, I'll try to. I try to buy all the Nintendo titles for every system, but there's some I skip, and I know that that's one that I'm skipping.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
I can't believe I looked up the word crunk on Wikipedia. I'm wondering what my search engine thinks of me.
The FBI will be at your door any second now.
Why did you look up crunk?
Somebody-
What type of person are you?
You're like,
Hi, we got a thing. Someone was here looking up crunk. Can you please come and answer the door, please?
yeah. Favorite console of all time? What's the one where you're like, yes, I wish they still made games for that?
Probably the DS.
Okay.
The Nintendo 3DS. I really enjoyed the games that were on there. Zelda, which game was that where he clung to the walls?
Oh,
And
is it the 3D World Kingdom
Link
something?
Between Worlds.
Yeah, Link Between Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, that game was one of the only Zelda games I've actually completed. That was I never complete the Zelda games. I get so into them, and then like Breath of the Wild, I'm like, yeah, look at all these things, and I get everything else done, and then this main storyline is just like, hey, remember me? And I'm like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've played all that I could play. This is it.
I'm the same way. I've probably played every Zelda game, but I know I've only beaten Link to the Past because I streamed it, and Breath of the Wild because I streamed it.
Yeah.
Other than that, off stream, I have never beaten a Zelda game. And it has everything in it that I like about games, but for some reason that franchise has never like completely sucked me in.
Yep.
If they're like, do you want a new Mario game or do you want a new Zelda game? Like, I'm picking Mario every time. Like Mario, I'll beat. But
I can't. I don't beat video games very well. I don't have the attention span to do it. I get really into it. That's why I think streaming is such a great thing for me, because it forces me to finish games.
Mm-hmm.
But lately I've become part of the PC master race, and I haven't been doing much console work.
Okay.
And so a lot of my games are gone to the wayside.
That's why I just do crosswords now, because I know we'll finish it. It's something something I can finish, and I can finish it today.
Yeah. But we just watched Detroit Become Human. I don't know if you've watched that game before.
No, is that the?
God, it is so good. I watched Bullet just do a playthrough of it, and it was phenomenal.
I feel like is there a sequel to that game coming out soon or something? Because I feel like I've seen that a couple of times recently, but people have been streaming that game. And I don't know if it's a lead up to something.
Let me see. The Bullet would know.
Hello,
Hi,
Dreadhill. Hello, thank you, Lemons.
It was made in 2018.
Okay.
And it's just done so well. Yeah, with 40 plus endings, so people replay it a lot. Yeah, my first playthrough Bullet did, where we got to make choices in chat, everybody died.
Oh.
Like, I didn't get to see one friggin' good ending whatsoever.
That was the ending.
Everybody got killed. So he played it again halfway through. He played it again the next day so he could watch all the good endings. So, Captain Iraq, so I'm assuming you don't like Beyond Two Souls. That's what I'm gathering from your... What did you not like about Beyond Two Souls?
I don't know that game at all.
Oh, that one has Elliot Page, back when she was Ellen Page.
Okay.
And so it's basically about having the part where the controls don't mean anything.
The part where I can't control my character?
The dot, Iraq. Oh my god. Yeah. It doesn't really tell you how to play the game. That's true. But from watching it, at least watching it and not playing it, it was a very well written, good game.
Okay.
another one like Detroit Become Human, where you pick your own different things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I've always loved. It's so funny that Twitch exists and Mixer existed and all these things, because I've always loved watching my brother play video games. Like, he had an N64 and he would play Conker's Bad Fur Day,
Yes.
which was a fantastic 64 game.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like sit in the doorway because I wasn't allowed in his room, so I had to sit in the doorway and watch from there. And he played Ocarina of Time, and I loved watching him play, and I never gave feedback on how to do anything.
Yeah.
And we had a really neat, here's a cool story. We had a really neat cul-de-sac
Mm-hmm.
where basically there was 3 generations of kids. There was me and Megan and Derek, and then there was a second group, which was my brother's group. So probably about 6 years older than us.
Okay.
And then there was another group that was about 10 years older than me.
Okay.
And so starting in the 90s, the way that everybody grew up with each other is like we still mingled with each other, and our parents all were friends, so they forced us to be together in certain situations. But like, I loved hanging out with the older kids because they would be playing video games and I would be able to watch them. And I wasn't old enough really to be able to play video games. But my brother always got he got Sega Genesis immediately. Like right when it came out on the market, my dad got it for him.
Okay.
And I would watch him play all of his games. And then I'd go over to my friend Steven's house, who is a artist, and he would be playing the Dragon Ball Z games.
Okay.
And we just sit in his room and watch him play the Dragon Ball Z games. And he'd be like, "Do you want to play?" And I'd be like, "Absolutely not." And he'd be like, "Why don't you try to play?" And so I'd just be the button masher. You know, like X, A, triangle, up, down, up, down. Yeah, that was me. I didn't bother to learn any of the moves or anything like that. I just picked one character. Like, my character in Smash is Kirby, just because I know how to suck people in and then throw them out, and then just like jam a bunch of buttons and hopefully like blow them off of the platform.
Okay.
Like that's how I play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So watching, especially like Twitch, is definitely, like I said, growing up watching video games, the fact that Twitch exists is really my niche. I just love watching content creators and variety streamers. And that's why I fell into this lap here. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same, but like I feel like it's like a no-brainer that it exists, because I also grew up in the same similar scenario with you. It was a neighborhood that had a lot of kids in it, ranging anywhere from kids that I moved in when I was 3, I think. So me all the way up to, teens and stuff, and we all mingled and we all played games. And there were these set of kids I always played games with, and we would go to Blockbuster and get the game, and we would just rotate playing through lives. Even if it was a one-player game, like we played every game Blockbuster ever had, and if it was a single-player game, we would rotate through and like sit there and just commentate on it and everything, and we were always laughing, or people always enjoyed if I was playing and I was commentating on it at the same time. And then like Twitch happens, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's times where I just like enjoyed watching people playing and hearing their commentary. Like I remember doing that as a kid. Like, and then to discover Twitch, I'm late on the Twitch thing, but now that I'm actually like tuning in and like watching people, I'm like, well, yeah, this exists. Like, of course. Like that was such a. I remember just doing that, just not on the internet.
Music aspect of it is really intriguing to me, that musicians have become like you hosted one today, and I went ahead and followed her because she sounded fantastic. I loved her sing. Her voice was wonderful, and she played music that wasn't just mainstream, which was really cool. And so just finding musicians too, I have several that are queued up that watching them, that's inspiring to me, because I've taught myself some guitar. Again, I was in a band. I used to write music. Like I had a what is a composite notebook? What are those called?
Composition
The
notebooks?
composition notebooks.
Yeah.
That's right. And I had one in my folder, and during school I would be writing songs, and it looked like I'd be writing notes because it was in one of those notebooks. But really, I was writing like songs after songs after songs. I mean, I must have written over 100. And some of them actually turned into music that my brother and I played, and some of them just went to the wayside. But that was my creative outlet during high school.
Okay.
And then I just stopped. Like it was something that I just stopped. And now watching these musician streamers, I'm like, oh my God, I want to write again. Like I want to do original songs again and get back into it. Because now that Twitch Sings is gone,
Yeah.
there's really no way for me to get that creative outlet going besides Tower Unite karaoke.
Yes.
and how many times can we sing Piano Man? I mean, really.
Yeah, there's a lot of great musicians on Twitch. Like Alana, I think is the one that I hosted today, and the Pumper Pair and Yugomi, and I've now maybe in the cycle of Twitch where I'm like, okay, I've seen a lot of people play games. What are other people doing on this platform? And I find myself looking at music. I found there's a guy Mimi introduced me to who just builds Lego blocks, and I'm getting more into the people who are doing things live stream, because I think that's where entertainment is going, and it's just getting it to be a more of a mainstream idea where it's like, oh yeah, you crochet. There are other people who crochet.
Yep.
So if you're gonna be doing something you're passionate about anyway, why not stream it and hang out with other people who are doing it? Even if it's not because it's a career move you want to do, you can just meet other like-minded people. And especially like during this time, I thought like this COVID-19 time was going to be a huge boom of live streaming, and it has in terms of people doing stuff on Zoom. But I'm hoping it continues to pique people's curiosity into this platform and the potential that it has for people who want to be musicians, and finding people they can collaborate with. Like you could write songs for one of the musicians on here, and there could be some sort of collaboration. Like I know John Pumper likes writing a lot of original music. So
That's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless. So if you follow a musician for long enough, you could be like, hey, do you want to collaborate on something? Or
right, can I write a song? Yeah. Picturing Panda performing some Wu-Tang type songs. That seems right.
Yes.
Exactly, Lemons.
Or even just finding a social outlet. Yeah, just the social aspect of it.
Yep.
I
mean, here I am, like, in this social situation, and it's awesome for me because you're cooped up and it's COVID and it's hard, and then here's the social aspect of it, and it just feels good.
Oh yeah. Hi, I followed you from Discord. Allie from St. Cloud. Hello, Allie from St. Cloud. How are you?
The Rusty Pandaa ain't nothing to F with.
Don't mess. Yeah, it's this has been a very isolating time, so it's fun doing stuff like this and sitting down with people, just getting to know them more and have a conversation. So and have other people chime in, like people who've been following me or have been following you, and just kind of hang out and just have more of like a Q&A type situation. So like a friend streamer does something every Saturday called Pandemic Pub. A bunch of us get on Discord and drink and talk about anything and everything. It's been amazing to be a part of. Yeah, like virtual happy hours. I have a buddy who does that, but he does it on Facebook. Like every day at 5 o'clock, he has 2 beers. And he just goes live, and then, other people join him and talk in the chat. And he's live for maybe like half hour, 45 minutes or whatever. And then, so he's just made virtual happy hours his thing. And he's someone who had never like live streamed anything before. And I have another friend on Facebook where she'll just go live every day at 11 a.m. and just say hi to whoever, talk about what's going on in her life. And, it's been a cool outlet to see people slowly discover and like dip their toe in and be like, yeah, you know what? I like going on here and interacting, and it's been great.
Yeah. Oh my God, Leech. As long as they aren't work-hosted virtual happy hours.
What do I get that synergy going between you and your coworkers?
Oh
We
my
need to
God.
synergize the. I don't know other corporate words. I didn't dip into my toe into the corporate side of Disney when I worked there.
Oh my God, Lady Melt, you did one of those? Was it? Yeah, it's awkward. I bet it's super awkward. We don't talk to each other. My work, what I do for work is I sell ATMs, and I work with their processing as well.
Okay.
And we basically communicate with each other via Facebook Messenger. There's about 4 of us, and we communicate Messenger on Facebook, and we rarely call each other for anything. And then sometimes when we do get a call, it's just this is what it is, this is the call, okay, we're done, all right, good. So everybody does their jobs all on their own. So it's like I don't really have coworkers. I sort of have a boss, and luckily I don't have to do a Zoom happy hour or whatever. But again, even work is incredibly isolating. Like, yes, I'm talking to customers, but I don't have anyone to bullshit with in the cube next to me.
Yeah, I've never worked in a cube situation. Like I've always grown up in restaurants, or if I was working at Disney, I was in the entertainment department. So those were already people who were like-minded and stuff like that. I've never been in a corporate scenario and had to go to like a PowerPoint presentation meeting of any sorts, or that's a whole different world to me.
Yeah.
Like,
I've always been corporate. I've basic, but small business. I started when I went to college. I originally wanted to go for jazz, vocal jazz.
Okay.
And then once I started to do that, I realized that I didn't want to do vocal jazz. There's no future for me singing it. And so I went into interpersonal communications.
Okay.
And then once I moved to Missouri, there was no interpersonal communications. There was just communications. So that's what I did. And even though I transferred, I still graduated in 3.5 years. Because I did summer courses as well. I was really driven. School is very, very easy for me. I don't know why. And then once I was able to graduate, I was like, it'd be fun, a master's degree. And so I decided to go into college student personnel administration.
Okay.
And that was basically your academic advisors, your career counselors, and I had already done some of that. And so I got a graduate assistantship, which basically pays for your graduate, like your master's, and you get paid $7.25 an hour for 20 hours a week.
Okay.
So my entire master's degree was paid for by working.
All
so
right.
I don't have to pay. I didn't have to pay for my master's, which was great.
Yeah.
But my undergrad is like hemorrhaging me.
Like, they got to get you somewhere and somehow, right?
Yeah. But what was my point? My point was, so corporate. So as soon as I started working in schools, when I moved to St. Louis, I started working in a private school, and I worked in admissions, and that was cubicle-like. And then as soon as that was over, I started working in a small business, and that was cubicle-like. Then I got a different job in a financial firm, and that was sort of cubicle-like, but it was part-time. And now it's work from home. Before COVID, it was work from home.
Okay.
And so I've not seen a cubicle in 3 years.
Wow. I've only walked by cubicles.
Yeah.
I've never been assigned a cubicle. I've never sat at a cubicle.
That's crazy.
Mine has always been, and I only did 1.5 years of college.
Okay.
So even like the whole college experience. I mean, I went to a community college for 1.5 years. So like, I don't know anything about like college life or corporate life, or those are all things I've just never been on my radar.
I did college weird. All of my college times were done when I was like 15 because I had an older brother.
Okay.
So as soon as I got to college, then I put my head on straight and actually did like work. But when I was 15, like I was reckless. Like I was one of those because I looked exactly like I do now, except for blonde hair.
Blonde hair. Are you naturally blonde?
I'm a natural rusty blonde. Friggin'
Panda. I'm a natural rusty panda.
I'm a rusty panda. A dirty blonde. I'm
Okay.
a dirty blonde type. And it's got like a tint of red to it in the summer, strawberry blonde in the summer.
Okay.
And so I went totally red because Galvo said he liked redheads. So one day I was like, let's do it. And so I went red and then I never went back.
Okay. It looks very natural on you.
Thank you.
You know,
yeah.
not knowing what your original hair color looks like, it doesn't look like that. I just assumed that was close to your natural hair color.
Yeah, I try to make it look as natural as possible. I don't like to look like crazy. Look what you started. What started?
Where did we start? Lisa, I moved into my new private office in February 2020. Went into lockdown a month later. Still haven't been back.
Aww.
A private corner office, Leech. Private corner office overlooking everything.
Look what I started. What I want to know what Gordo's talking about.
It really was.
I remember that.
Furniture too. Oh no! So now you're forever a redhead.
Oh yeah.
Always redhead
It's
now.
true. And it's true. I mean, like, I need to go to the salon. I just didn't need to know, like, how to do it. But I want to go to the salon and get my hair done again. It's fading.
I remember having to think about those things.
Did you always have the hair that you have?
Yeah, when I was a baby, it just never grew. This is my baby hair. This is how I came out of the womb. No, I actually used to have a mop of brown hair.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was just a crazy nest of hair. I remember the last time I went to a barber in LA and they said, wow, you have really thick hair. And it's like from that moment on, like that message went out into the universe. And then like a year later, like over the course of the next year, my hair just started like just going away. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But it took like a couple of years, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start shaving it. So I just started shaving it.
The curse, dark side.
The curse started. The curse, yes. So no, I've been shaving my head for maybe like 7-8 years now. Yeah, probably about 8 years now. So, but luckily I can grow this beard here because no one else in my family can. No one else in my family has gone bald, and no one else in my family can grow a beard that connects.
That connects.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, it's the key. You gotta have the continuous. It's got to touch. But yeah, my brother and my dad cannot grow facial hair for anything.
Oh no.
So I was like, oh, thank God. If not, I think I would look like an egg. If I had no facial hair and no hair on my head.
Oh my gosh! You want to know a fun fact?
Okay.
My
Are
family.
You bald?
No, my
This is a
wig.
Yeah. Go
my
ahead.
family used to own a restaurant back in Jersey, and my uncle owned it, and my grandma worked the appetizers, my grandma worked the desserts, and my grandpa worked the appetizers.
Okay.
And I would usually run back there, and my grandpa would usually give me jumbo shrimp for the shrimp cocktail, and fresh mozzarella. That would go usually for a what is it called where you have tomatoes and fresh mozzarella? It's a certain salad or whatever. I can't think of
caprese salad, or do you want?
Yeah, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would give me the fresh mozzarella, and then I'd go to my grandma, and she would go ahead and give me some sort of cake or pie or whatever that she had made. And I'd go back to my seat, and then there would be the actual food, and I'd usually get penne vodka, but the best thing I ever got was a chicken dish. A chicken a la chicken Pietra Rosa is what it was called.
Okay.
And my cousin made it because my cousin was a chef in the kitchen.
Mhm.
And it's basically chicken in like a dark wine sauce with mushrooms that are like, they look like worms the way that they're cut.
Okay.
But I loved the texture because it was like meaty, like the mushrooms were like meaty, with bacon bits. And that was the sauce, and I would always ask for extra sauce to pour over the chicken.
Okay.
But the chicken cutlets were like perfectly thin. Oh my gosh, the restaurant was great, and it lasted about 17 or 18 years. And then unfortunately my cousin passed away, not the one in the kitchen, another cousin, and then things kind of went downhill, and then they ended up selling the restaurant. It didn't do well. It went down, and then my uncle decided he wanted to open up a breakfast joint.
Okay.
And so he opened up a breakfast joint, and it did so well. And then he was like, I'm tired. And so he ended up selling it and actually making a profit off of it, but it's still our last name. So when I talk about New Jersey and I talk about like where I'm from, the Central, if I mention my last name, they're like, oh, it's you. Are you related to the restaurant? And I'm like, I am.
It's IHOP, isn't it?
It's IHOP. Yeah, that's right.
He started
My last
IHOP.
name is IHOP.
Yes. Like, it's gonna be Waffle House or IHOP.
Panda Waffle House.
Panda Waffle House.
That's my full name. Don't call me by that.
Yeah, I love working in restaurants. I've always had a dream of working in like a family-owned restaurant. But at the same time, I don't know if my family could run a restaurant together. But it'd be cool to be born into like a restaurant family where like everybody works in the same place.
It's cool, but when my brother did it, it did not go great. So
okay,
it's like which family clicks and which one didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's the normal family drama and the stress that comes with it, but
yep.
I've worked in a lot of restaurants. My favorite one was a farm-to-table restaurant when I moved here. It was the first farm-to-table restaurant in Minneapolis. It opened in the 80s. And it was a similar scenario where the owner sold it and then it ended up not doing as well. So I came in after they sold. But it was a cool place where the menu only had you had 5 entrees and maybe 4 appetizers to choose from and maybe 3 desserts. Everything was made in-house. Everything was scratch. Everything was based off of what produce was coming in. So that's what shaped the menu. A lot of no waste. So that was the first restaurant where I started working in the kitchen and doing prep work and learning that's where I got a lot of my base cooking skills, was working in a kitchen where we're like, oh yeah, we use everything, and then everything is seasonal, and then everything is so every Saturday I used to work in that kitchen.
You're making me starving right now. Oh my god.
Yeah, restaurant. I learned how to make bread. I never made bread before, so I had a bread shift, and
nice.
That was hard. Bread is really hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. My friend has a whole bread making thing that he's been working on, and he just started a delivery thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And my other friend, she's making everybody's making bread products. She's making bagels. She's calling herself the Bagel Bandita, and she's going around giving bagels to everyone.
There's a lot of people making bread right now. Especially when COVID first started, all of a sudden all my friends are posting pictures of sourdough loaves they're making, and I'm like, am I the only one who doesn't know how to make bread? Why is everybody making bread right now? What's happening?
I think, was it Rothmar that was making bread? I believe it was him that was doing bread making in, because he's in California.
Yeah, he's in the San Fran area.
Yep. And so he had to find yeast, and it was doing bread making.
Yeah, everybody's making bread. I'm like, oh, I mean, I know how to make bread, but I had to make it in bulk. So I went from not knowing how to needing to know how to make enough bread for the bakery for the day. So I went from I wasn't making 1 loaf. I was making 60 loaves of different variations, baguettes, and different, a wheat bread where we had a honey wheat bread and like all the different shapes and everything. So I was very like, I don't know if I would ever go back and make bread as a hobby now. I think I've been scarred. I'd be like, I don't know how to make one loaf.
only all the loaves, not the one loaf.
I can only make batches of them. But yeah, it was weird that like everyone just started making bread.
Yeah, everybody wanted yeast, and then there was like a yeast shortage.
Yeah.
Which was really, really strange. I had people posting on Facebook if anyone knew where like the nearest yeast area was, and I'm like, what? Why? Like, what are you doing? And everybody's like, I've got a bread maker.
We're doing
I'm
this.
like, okay.
Everyone's
It's like having an air fryer, I guess.
Everyone's making bread. I don't know what's going on in that bottom left picture.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the bottom right picture.
I'm not eating that. It looks like it's half dust.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone was making bread. I was feeling the pressure to make bread, but I held back.
And now everybody's frying air.
Now everybody's frying air.
Yeah.
Oh, I love my air fryer because I'm anti-microwave.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a microwave in probably 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So the introduction, I always reheated everything in the oven or on the stove. So the air fryer was a perfect, like, oh, it's like they've reintroduced the microwave, but it's just hot air. I'm in.
Right.
I'm in.
Right. Yeah, it really does well with leftovers, and
Yeah.
we were able to make like quesadillas in it,
Yeah.
and it was we couldn't believe it. We have one that can make a rotisserie chicken and kebabs, like it rotates and stuff.
Oh.
My mom got us like a really intense one and it makes cakes, like you can make a cake in it.
Yeah.
And then of course we've got our normal toaster oven. It intimidates me. It does. Like we press only one button because we're afraid what the other buttons will do. Like we only know the one button.
There's so many. Yeah, I mainly only use temperature up and down and the minutes. There's some buttons in the middle I can push. But I mean, even like when I had a microwave, I never used the popcorn button. I didn't trust it.
Yeah.
I never trust the defrost button. I never trust the potato button. I never use those.
No. It's always just like mental, like what the time would possibly be. And of course you're guessing unless you like look at the back of the package and then you're like, maybe this is correct.
I'm cooking everything at like 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes, that's what I do too.
Yeah.
Everything goes in at 400, no matter what it is.
What does this say? 375 at 12 minutes? No, I'll do 400 for 8 minutes. Perfect.
Yep. That's what I do.
Yeah. As long as you know what the power button is, just hit it and you know what it's going to do. Oh, yeah. Air fryer. That'll save life.
Yep.
What's your go-to bread? You're like, I'm going to get a sandwich.
I absolutely love sourdough bread.
Sourdough bread.
But like hard Italian bread that's super warm. So like the crust basically takes the skin off the top of your mouth. Like that's the type of Italian bread that I want because that's what I used to get back at the restaurant. And so it was super fluffy on the inside and like butter would just melt on it like nothing. And then the outside was just like crispy, like more like a Triscuit. Like it was just hard and then it would just break apart. It was just, oh God, it was so good.
I like a good rye bread. Rye and sourdough. Those are my go-tos.
So you like a good, what's the sandwich? What's the sandwich that you get with the Reuben?
Reubens? Oh, yeah.
Do you like a good Reuben?
I do love
Hi,
Reubens.
Tuba.
Hello, Tuba.
Yeah.
Whose go-to is rye? Me, Tuba. I love rye bread. Even just like rye bread, just as toast. I'll make grilled cheese out of it. Yeah, I will. Lame. Okay, Tuba, what's a better bread? Go for it.
I think sourdough's a better bread.
I do love sourdough. See, Captain E-Rock's like, I want rye now. Gordo, love me some rye. We got Team Rye.
Team Rye.
Team Rye?
Team sourdough, Team Rye.
Yeah.
Birdseed bread? What's
Birds?
birdseed bread?
Is that like this? This is what I imagine.
Like throw all the birdseed in there.
Just throw a bunch of birdseed on it.
Interesting.
Is it like that?
Oh, pumpernickel. Pumpernickel is an acquired taste.
Pumpernickel, if I'm correct, I was told this, my choir teacher told us this in high school. The other name for pumpernickel is devil's fart bread.
Devil's fart bread?
It's devil's fart bread. Commonly associated with a goblin or devil. Yeah, hence pumpernickel means farting devil or devil's fart.
That's hilarious.
It's right there.
Oh my gosh.
There it is. Devil's fart bread.
It really is acquired taste.
Yeah, yeah, rye bread for a Reuben. I wouldn't like want a piece of rye bread with butter on it, just like as a side thing. But
Right.
but if you're gonna like, is it Outback Steakhouse? Do they give you pumpernickel? Is that the
I
bread
believe so.
the bread they put on the table?
Yeah, because it's brown.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking your go-to was, devil's fart bread.
Double staple.
Oh yeah,
Double staple.
it's it's a Dumple staple. Yes, there's my bread right there, the bread of my people. Yes, yes. My fart bread.
You had mentioned chorus. I had went to a performing arts high school for 4 years.
Okay.
And so I did, I was an acting major.
Okay.
And I did a bunch of stuff, but it was really cool because they incorporated it into a normal school.
Mhm.
So I would take normal classes and then go to my acting classes. And then I rode a tiny bus because it was 40 minutes away from me, that school.
Okay.
And so I would like sleep on the bus, go in, and then when you're a freshman, you have the morning classes. When you're freshmen and juniors have acting morning classes, and then sophomores and seniors have afternoon classes. In my senior year, there was a point where I had acting. So instead of like acting, voice, and dance, I had an acting on Fridays. So that's 3 classes consecutively that you don't leave. And Kaz was his name, Kazakov. He would just go ahead and leave us. He would just leave a bunch of 18-year-olds, 17 and 18-year-olds in a room
Oh no.
for 3 hours. And the shit that we came up with, they called me the official video recorder of everything that is FPAC. Because I videotaped everything. And then our senior year, I made an entire montage that took an hour. It was an hour montage of shit that we had done. And I had gotten in trouble towards the very end of the year. I got pinned down in the back room by 3 teachers, basically saying that the video recording that I was doing was like breaking school rules and it made us look bad, and posting to Facebook was a terrible idea. And I was 17 and crying and had no idea.
Mhm.
And I was like, I didn't post anymore. But then as soon as I graduated, I was like, here we go. Get all the material.
Yeah.
Friggin' material. What are you gonna do to me?
I got my diploma.
Yep.
What you gonna do?
They pinned me down. They did. I was up against a wall, and there was 3 of them screaming in my face. Yeah. It was like one of the worst memories.
What shows did you do?
We did. Let's see. First was Bat Boy. Then
Okay.
Was what's the storybook one?
Into the Woods?
Into the Woods.
Okay, I did that one
then,
too.
Hooray for Hollywood.
Okay.
I stage directed that one. On the Town.
Yeah, I did On the Town as well.
We did plays like Julius Caesar and what was the one? Mousetrap. We did that one. There was a few others that we did as well, because we did fall and then spring ones. And
I'm jealous
yeah.
of that. I studied a lot of acting growing up, but it was always musical theater. I did a lot of musical theater as a kid, like in the DC area. like my first job. Like it was like my job for a while. Like I was like the go-to kid. You have a show that has a kid in it? Call John up, have him come do it. So I did like my first show was Sound of Music. I was one of the Von Trapp kids, and I did Oliver. I was Dodger in that, and any show that needed a kid, I was there. So I was known in school as being the kid who was gone on Wednesdays because the theaters would have Wednesday matinees.
That's fantastic.
So I would just do my homework in between the matinee and the evening show on Wednesdays. But the high school I went to wasn't performing arts, but it had a strong theater program. Just like we did a musical every year.
Right.
So our choir teacher would produce the musical, and we would have an outside person come in and direct. So we didn't get to do a lot of plays because we didn't have like an acting teacher in our school.
Right.
So we just did a musical. So I wish we had had the opportunity to do more straight plays.
Yeah, the
just straight
one
comedies.
play that we had done were at Mousetrap, I was Mrs. Boyle, which was like this, it was murder mystery and all that stuff. And I was so excited because it was one of my first roles. I was a junior, and it was my first role that I was like really on stage and highlighted. And I came down with strep. And I went home on Thursday, or I went home on Friday morning, and they said, you can't do the play tonight because you went home, you didn't do school. You have to do school in order to be able to do extracurriculars. And that means that you can't do the Saturday one either because you didn't do the Friday one. And so I didn't perform any of it. My acting teacher had to perform my part.
Damn.
So that was awful. I was like, I'll never admit I'm sick again. This is the worst thing ever.
We had that same thing too. Like if you didn't go to school that day, you couldn't be in the show. So no one ever did not show up. Like that's how strong our theater program was. Like nobody ever did not show up for school because they knew. So like it was, but we had that same thing set in place. I remember one time we got called off for snow. We were doing, it's my sophomore year, we did How to Succeed in Business.
Okay.
And I played Bud Frump, who's like the bad guy.
Right.
And we got called off for snow, but my teacher was trying to get us to still be able to do the play that night.
That's funny.
But we couldn't because school was closed. They wouldn't let us do the show.
Right.
But our theater program had a big turnout. We always had, every year we would get a couple of jocks to do the musical. So we would have people from the football team and the wrestling team and stuff like that. And some of them would just come back and do the show the next year because they had so much fun doing it.
We had our actual principal on the town. He was oh god, no, we did West Side Story too, and our principal was in it, and he was Officer Krepke.
Okay.
And that was fantastic because he had no acting skill, but everybody was the principal, so of course all the kids wanted to see it, West Side Story. Yeah. And that was really well done production as well.
That's good.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He was in it, and we had one other person that our actual cop was in it as well, doing something. So yeah, we try to incorporate a bunch of people.
That's fun. What did you do in Into the Woods?
I did not perform in Into the Woods.
Okay.
But that was my freshman or sophomore year, so I didn't have a chance. And on the town, I was the lady who, I can't think of her name, but she's the one who sings at the bar. And she comes out at the bar and she sings again, but she sings in like Spanish. Yeah. That was my part. And there was this picture they took of me, and I'll have to add it to Wiki-Wednesday Discord, where they took this picture of me singing. Okay. And put like my full everything in it, and it was actually posted. We had giant pictures posted on the front of our theater for good photography for things that we had done that season. Okay. And my picture got posted up there because it was just so dramatic. Yes. So I'll have to find that photo.
I want to see that one. I did on the town. but I played Gaby in it. But
Okay.
I don't really remember the show that well. I remember it was a summer, and some production was doing it, and they called me and asked me to audition. So I went and I auditioned, and then they're like, "Who do you want to play?" And I was like, "I don't know, Ozzy." And they were like, "You can't have that." And they're like, "Okay, how about Chip?" They're like, "No, not that one." And I was like, Gaby? They're like, "Okay, yeah, that sounds right." And I did the whole show. I showed up at the rehearsals. I sang the song. I did everything, and I don't really remember anything from that show.
Oh my god.
Like I just completely I can't remember one of my songs. I can't remember any of my lines. I was always somebody who I could show up. I couldn't memorize my lines beforehand. I can't sit there and just read a script. So I show up at rehearsals. I learn my lines as I'm learning my blocking. They'll just start clicking. And then I will do the show in its entirety, and then I will forget everything that I did.
That's crazy. See, I had terrible time with lines. Lines were really, really hard for me. My memory is not what it should be, and so that was tough.
Yeah,
The fact that you could just do that is pretty impressive.
Well, I think I have a really good short-term memory. My long-term memory is nothing. I did Jack Get Into the Woods. I was Frump in How to Succeed. I was Prince Charming in Cinderella. I was Ugly in a show called Honk, based on the Ugly Duckling. And I can't tell you any of my songs or any of my lines from really any show that I ever did. I did Oliver and King and I and like a whole Children of Eden. Like I did a lot of musicals growing up. I can't tell you any of them.
Yeah, I could not. Nope.
No, we never did Cats. I don't think I would ever agree. I don't think I would ever personally agree to do Cats.
I wouldn't do Cats.
No.
No,
But I didn't know you had an acting background, Panda.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That is something new that I have learned tonight. I went, oh, you had like jazz vocal performance? Like, where'd you go to college? Like, where were you going to study that?
William Patterson University of New Jersey.
Okay.
And they had a really good program, and that's something that I definitely wanted to do. And then, like I said, it was one of those decisions where I was like, no, I'm going to do interpersonal communications, but it's makes more sense to me. And I still got to work with the radio, which was fun. I loved working with sound bites. We had to recreate this, one of the coolest assignments I ever had. We had to recreate I don't remember the time limit, a minute and a half, the 5 minute maybe, excerpt of a movie using the sound bites that were in there, along with our own voices, which they didn't want us to use our voices as much as the sound bites that they had given us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did Pulp Fiction, the very end of it, where there's guns and stuff, and they pull the gun out and you wanka, and they do that whole section, and it's like a 5 minute excerpt, and we had to do it sound for sound bite.
Okay.
It was the most fun I've ever had, and at that point I was like, I want to work in radio, and I never got the opportunity, but I was really going the radio route for a while.
I mean, with live streaming, you could still itch that radio, scratch that radio itch.
Do I have that? Well, you know, I like to think that I have that radio voice where it's high. No, it's not high enough where you have to talk like this the entire time. It's smooth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's more smooth, and it goes well. And I don't have a hard accent, which helps.
Yeah. Like I want to start tuning into more of like the radio stations that people are actually doing here on Twitch. Because that was my next thing I was going to start looking into, was like, okay, so looking more musicians, and now I want to start looking more into like the radio broadcast things that people are doing.
Like podcasts?
Kind of, but there are people on Twitch who basically are just doing their own radio station from home. But I think they're mostly doing talk. I mean, I imagine with like DMCAs and stuff, maybe they're not playing as much music. But I've had the idea of doing a radio station on Twitch where Twitch artists are submitting their music to be played during the show. So you would actually be networking with people like Alana and John Pumper and stuff like that who are writing their own stuff.
That's super cool.
And then being like, okay, this next song is coming from blah, blah, you know, whoever who's here on Twitch, you can find them at this, and here's their song, and we go to play a song, and it's owned by somebody who's actually on the platform.
On the platform,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God, I would absolutely love
And
that.
featuring them. So, I mean, that'd be a huge undertaking, I think, in terms of like doing that daily and coming up with, you know, I think I need to work with somebody who has a background in radio.
Right.
And that knows, okay, here's the break, here's what a daily breakdown would look like, and like that kind of stuff, and you know, here's the transitions, and you know, to make it like a smooth project. But I've been meaning to like look at the radio side of Twitch and just start playing around with that idea.
Yeah, that's exciting. That excites me. That makes me want to do it.
I think it'd be a really fun way to collaborate with. I'm always trying to find like things like this. Like I'm always looking to how can I collaborate in even like the smallest way with other creators on the platform.
Right.
Like this is just hanging out and just having a conversation, but at the same time I'm getting to know you more. Your streamers getting to know you more. You know, or your followers are getting to know you more. My followers getting to know you more. Like it's more of like a how can I find way like this like Sunday Funday Monday with Beaver and like stuff like that. Hi Dan Sparks. So I think radio would be a fun thing because every once in a while I could have one of the artists on to interview them, but if not, they would just be submitting their songs to me and I would just be putting them into a playlist. Like on Spotify or something like that, and I would just be playing the song from Spotify and be like, yeah, you can also find this on Spotify. Or I could create a playlist of those songs and be like, everyone I've ever played is on this playlist. Like,
that's
so
crazy.
you now have this, like, that was part of my thing with creating a playlist for Gordo, was like, that's like dipping my toe into that idea of like, well, yeah, what if I just created like a playlist that the community liked to follow because they knew people in it and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, the radio is something that I have been toying around with.
I'm really interested.
Yeah, I think it would be a fun thing.
I'm gonna have to get that picture from my friend Cheevers who took the photo.
Yes.
It's a really, really good photo.
Do I have? Oh, where did I put them? Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna see. My mom sent me 2 pictures of me in a show recently because she's like, I don't know what to do with it. Here, you have these. But they were hanging in her house, and now she lives in a smaller place. My parents moved to a smaller house. So hold on, I'm gonna go see if I can find these things. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just entertain the audience, Panda. It's all on you.
Okay. So yeah, if I'm doing a radio show, then I would go ahead and ask the audience, like Dan Sparks, how are you doing today? Good afternoon, beautiful people. It's afternoon. It's 9 p.m. Where are you located? Are you on the East Coast or the West Coast?
Okay, I found them.
Okay.
All right, so since you're going to be sharing things in the Discord of you when you were in shows. This was a picture of me as Dodger in Oliver. I'm the one pointing.
Yes.
No, that's me. And this is the other one of me. There's me with hair. That's me. It's the same show. I'm playing Dodger. And that was me as well.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Look at that wig.
I'll put those in the Discord as well so people can see them. But those are 2 pictures that I have on hand of my old theater days.
Australian time. My goodness, 1:30 p.m.
Oh my gosh, Dan.
So that's tomorrow?
We caught you in the afternoon. Yes.
Wow.
He'll tune in the mornings for the crossword streams, but it's like 3 o'clock in the morning for him.
Bye, Tuba.
All right, bye, Tuba. Have a good night. Okay, I have to go buy a lot of lemons. I had to see the pics. Go buy your lemons. Bye. Yeah.
That picture of me from on the town. All right, I'll get that in the Discord. It's really, I'm not under plan. Like it's a it's a perfect photo. And I tried to search the internet. It's usually on there, but it's not. When I search my name, it's not on there anymore. So he must have removed it and put it somewhere else.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll be checking. I will keep my eye on Discord so I can see that.
Yep.
Is there any last minute things you want to talk about before we wrap this thing up? We've been.
No, I just want to thank my family and friends who are watching, even though they can't comment or just like watching on the platform. And I want to say hi to all them and thank you for the support and the love. And thank you, Tipsy Roo, for hosting. I really appreciate that. It's really fun to be able to talk about stuff and hang out with you. And if you're more interested in Dagger here at any point, you just let me know. And we can get you interested in some Dagger here, some foam fighting.
I just want to foam fight Beaver.
Yeah?
Yeah. I get 2 swords, he gets none.
You're gonna go Florentine.
Yes.
Bum.
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you everyone who showed up too. All the friends who showed up. I really appreciate your support.
Loser has to shave a monkey tail beard.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out and coming saying hello. It's nice to meet some new people. Hopefully you had a good time just hanging out and chilling and finding out more stuff about Panda. Thank you, Panda, for being here. I enjoyed getting to know you more about the LARPing stuff that you're doing and the acting and the musicianing and all that kind of stuff. It's been nice to get to know you more as a person. So thank you for hanging out as well. If you guys wouldn't mind giving Panda a follow and checking out her streams, I will throw another shout out in the chat. Panda is also one of my mods as well.
Do I still get to stay in mod?
We'll
After this interview, is it?
I'm gonna create a poll for chat to vote. Manage poll. New poll. Question. Does Panda remain a mod? Okay, and then I'm gonna hear some responses you guys can give.
Dark side.
Of course. There we go. And how about that? I'm not gonna allow additional votes. Everybody only gets 1, and I'm gonna give it 60 seconds. There's your poll. Go for it. How's that? I'll vote yes, but Galva's is on thin ice. So we have, does Panda remain a mod? Yes, of course. And she owns the stream now. So far, she owns the stream now, is in the lead. Oh, God. Oh, no.
That's fantastic.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Look at that. Look at that activity.
Dang it. Dang it.
The stream was always mine.
I guess I'm out. Oh no, is Tuba here and already left? Tuba was here and left. She popped in and she was here for like 30 minutes or so, and then she popped out.
Yep. She had to do something with lemons.
Yeah. She had to go order a bunch of lemons for something. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said, you want 75% says that you own the stream now. So, Panda's...
So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for my mods. I appreciate it. You can go to the next Being Tipsy.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm on it. I work for her immediately. But I'm not a mod. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please consider giving Panda a follow and checking out her streams when she is streaming. And if you want to see past episodes of Wiki-Wednesday, they are on YouTube. You can check those out there. Next week, I will have community member Angel Felis. If you guys hang out with us for Sunday Funday Mondays, Angel Felis will be hanging out with me. It is Beaver's daughter as well. So we will be hanging out and chatting, so feel free to tune in again. It's Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock Central is when I start. I have Angel Felis next week, and then Lo-Fi the following week. We're going to be talking about
Nice.
sound design and he learned French through. I mean, he learned English through streaming. And all kinds of Canadian things. So he'll be hanging out. And then I'm going to talk to E-Rock soon. I'm going to put the pressure on right now. Talking to E-Rock. I'm going to put the pressure on
Yes.
Licho. I'm putting Beaver's already agreed to do one. I'm putting pressure on Gordo. I'm putting pressure on Daisy. These are all people that I'm like, let's just hang out and just talk about whatever. So I will be reaching out to you people to hang out.
Yes.
But thank you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. You can find all of my socials below, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. The Discord, you can social stalk me across the internet. Panda, where can they find your stuff?
They can find me over in Twitter, TheRustyPandaa.
Okay.
That's Rusty Panda with 2 A's. And they can go ahead and find me over at my Twitch channel as well.
Excellent. There is what the Twitter handle looks like. So you give her a follow there. And excellent. Yeah, and give her a follow on the Twitches. But thank you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you, Panda, for being here.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much to my executive producers, Adjective Beaver, Licho, and Mama Roo for being awesome people and helping me out at the highest level. You guys are amazing, awesome people. If you like what I'm doing on here, whether it's the creative streams, the Wiki-Wednesdays, the crosswords during the day, TikTok, or anything, and you want to support me as a content creator, Patreon is a great way to do that. Some people were hanging out tonight who support me on there. Darkside was here, and 00 Tuba was here, and the Rusty Panda with 2 A's, which I will be fixing after the stream, was here as well. Thank you to my moderators and creative team. My moderators, Daisy Days, Licho, Galvos, maybe the Green. We'll see what happens if I get that updated or not. But I will definitely get the Rusty Panda updated. Thank you so much for being here and making this a safe place for people to hang out. And my creative team, Darkside and Slick Mouse, for being awesome people and making it a nice place to look for your eyeball holes. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see you later, pal. Bye, bye. Oh, that's not even the one I want.
Bye-bye. Ignore that first one. It never happened.